everyone, welcome to our channel, Rebecca, Stu, and the crew. I'm Rebecca, and today we have some new Dollar Tree DIY ideas for you. So we will go over our supplies first. We'll need something to write with, some tape. We're also going to need some scissors, some string or yarn, these cutting mats from Dollar Tree, and some of the poster board. We're also going to use some ribbon and some gemstone stickers or some glitter stickers. There's the pearl stickers, lots of different options you can use. The LED tea light candle that changes colors, and some hot glue, berries, the pine wire ties, and let's get crafty. So the first thing we're going to do is draw an arc to create a cone. To do this, we're going to take our string and we're going to measure down the side of the poster board about an inch past. Then we'll wrap that around the bottom of our pencil and tape it to the bottom to hold it on, and then take your other side of the string and tape it to the upper corner. Then pull the string taut and just pull your pencil along the side of the paper to create this perfect arch. Now we're going to go ahead and cut that out with our scissors. And this will create a cone that will sit nice and flat on the table. So all we're going to do is start curling up our cone and then just meeting the edges together, just overlap a little bit. And then you're going to go ahead and tape the bottom down. We're using masking tape. Then we'll tape the top and then a nice strip of tape all the way down the side. Try to get it as smooth as you can. And now we can begin decorating our cone. So I have this really pretty gold beaded wrap, and it has the sticky tape already attached. So we pull the whole sheet off of the backing, line it up with the top edge of our cone, and then just wrap it around the cone until we have the whole entire sheet used. What we'll do is we'll trim along the bottom, and if we have a piece that's large enough and lines up really well, then we'll use that on the edge to fill in the spaces. And it took 2 sheets to completely cover this cone. So I had this little piece of leftover gold pearl wrap. So I'm just going to use that small square. And then I cut the bottom portion off. I fill in this open space here. Just try to line your beads up as best you can. It's okay if they don't line up perfectly. Once we decorate it, you won't really notice some of the lines. And then for the front, I just had this little diamond shape or triangle shape left to cover. So I just measured it by holding it up in the front, cut my pearl wrap, pull the backing off, and then line it up right here in the center as best I can to match up all the beading. If there's just a little bit of beading on the bottom edge, you can just fold it up underneath into the cone. And now we've got our cone completely covered with the pearl wrap. And we're going to take that pine wire tie. They sell these at the Dollar Tree. And we're just going to wrap this around the bottom edge of our tree. And add hot glue as we go, gluing on just little bits at a time. And then I took another piece of the wire garland tie or some pine needles, whichever you have on hand, and I tied 3 of the berries with the snow on them to the center, and then I'll glue that right in the middle. I had some little pine cone embellishments that I had. They sell these in the bag over by the floral department. They have like gold and silver glitter on them. Just these little tiny pine cones. So we're going to glue those in the sides here past the little berries. Then there's some gold flowers. I glued those on as well. And I'm just going to make a very simple bow by taking some ribbon and creating 2 loops by gluing it together. And then I glue the center so that I have a loop on both sides. So I just use a little dot of glue, create a circle, and then put 1 dot of glue in the center to make the 2 loops of the bow, and then I tie it with another piece of ribbon right in the center. Now I can go ahead and glue this bow to the top of my tree. And then I thought it would be pretty to add some height. So what I did is I used one of these gold candle holders from Dollar Tree and used it as a tree trunk. And I just slide it right on top, and it's the perfect fit. So now for our second tree that we're going to make today, we're going to use some of the Crafter Square vinyl. We're going to do the same thing with the poster board, create that arc there, and then cut it out with our scissors. And then we're going to use some of the rose gold glitter vinyl. And we're just going to lay our cone shape on top of the vinyl and then trace about 1 inch past on the bottom edge with our pencil and right on the straight edge. Then we'll just cut that out with our scissors. And you can work a little bit at a time, or you can pull the whole entire backing off at once. It's really up to you, whichever you think is easiest. But we're going to remove the backing off of the vinyl and then stick this to our poster board, lining it up as best we can, trying to avoid any wrinkles. And then we'll take our scissors and cut these little, kind of like a notch along that edge there, so we can just fold up the excess to cover that bottom edge. And this helps it to go on nice and neat without any wrinkles or bubbles on that edge there by cutting these little slits in the sides. So there we are with the paper completely covered. There's a few wrinkles, but I wouldn't worry too much about it, as there's just a few. They'll end up straightening out and you'll be able to cover them once you decorate your tree. So I create the cone shape, and then I just use some more of the rose gold vinyl to seal up the edge. Once I used the masking tape, I just covered it with more of the vinyl. And then I cut some strips of this diamond wrap, and we're going to do, it's like 2 strips wide. And we'll start at the top of the tree, and pretty much we're cutting the tree in like 4 pieces. So we're just doing the very top. I add a little bit of hot glue, and then I just use the tape that's attached to the diamond wrap to attach it to the vinyl. And then we work our way all the way around the tree, and then we're going to cut these small strips with just 1 strip of the diamond wrap and measure the diamond wrap at an angle and put those between the larger pieces that we just put there. And we're going to slowly work our way around the tree. We start at the bottom, and we're pretty much making like this diagonal pattern. I count how many rows up I'm supposed to stop at, so I know exactly where to go, because I want all of these to start and stop at the same point, so it's cohesive all the way around. And we're just making these little diamond wrap Christmas trees on the tree. Then I had a foam star from like the 4th of July last year, and another one of the candle holders. For this candle holder, I didn't want to leave it gold. I thought the silver vinyl paper would look better, just because it kind of goes with the diamond wrap at the top. Even though there's some gold on there, I really wanted to lighten this one up a little bit. So I cover that with the silver glitter paper, and then take a small like little skewer or dowel and put that in your foam star if you have one. And then I just slide that into the open hole at the top of the tree. You can add more hot glue there if you like. And then again, for your tree to add some height, you can just slide your tree right on top of one of those candle holders from Dollar Tree. It fits perfectly. And this is the rose gold and silver tree with the diamond wraps. For tree number 3, which is probably my favorite, I'm going to use this space tape I found at Dollar Tree about 2 weeks ago. Also, we're going to use those flexible mats I showed in the beginning. And then we will need one of these balloon holders. This one's going to be a little bit different. So we're going to take that space tape, And sometimes they'll sell tape similar to this over in the office supply section. They have it under different names, but this is kind of wide. So I'm going to cut it in half so it's not quite so wide. And we're going to just put that along one edge of our plastic cutting mat that we've already cut into the arc shape to create our cone. Then we'll pull that protective paper off the side because it's double-sided tape, and then we just meet these sides up together, overlapping, and we hold it in place while it sticks. You kind of have to hold it in place for like a few seconds for it to really stick well. So that's what we did there, completely closing up our cone. And then I have these tiny little wine glasses that are found in the party section at the Dollar Tree, and the balloon stem, these little lights that change color. Comes with those rocks. And I just kind of put the whole thing together. It's only about 4 inches long, but the tubing for that balloon holder goes right over the light of these LED lights, which is really fun. So all I'm going to do is put it together for now just to see where it will sit. And I put some hot glue on that top edge of the balloon holder. And then we'll take our cone and slide that down over top of the balloon holder to have it sit nice and straight. And as you can see, it will hold the light to the tree like a trunk. But right now, what we're going to do once the glue dries is just pull that light out for now so that we can work with our tree. And what we're going to do is put some of those rocks in that small cup, and then we'll put rocks around it to help hold it in place. And then later, when we're finished with the tree, we just have to slide it back on the balloon holder. And this way you can take it off and on, and you can turn the light off when you're not using it. Okay, so now we're going to take the diamond like gemstone border stickers that Dollar Tree sells. They have a bunch of different versions and different colors all the time. You usually get like 3 strips of this border gemstone stickers. And we're going to cut apart some smaller pieces just for the top and kind of work our way about 2 to 3 inches down. And once we get about 2 to 3 inches down, we get the whole top kind of filled in. Then we'll start adding longer strips of these gemstone stickers. And I chose to do mine pretty much at like an angle, kind of like it was wrapping around like a spiral. And I just kept doing this until I had the whole entire tree filled in with these really pretty gemstone stickers. If you run out, just meet up where you left off and then trim off the excess at the bottom and then use that to start your next row. If you want, you can add a little bit of hot glue to the top and maybe the bottom edge every once in a while just to make sure that your stickers are going to stick really well. I did wipe down the mat with some alcohol, like some rubbing alcohol before I started, just to make sure there were no like oils for my hand on the cutting mat that were going to prevent the tape from sticking. As you can see, sometimes I add just a little dot of glue or I think it looks like it's going to have trouble sticking. And I just keep working my way down the tree. I try to space it out as even as I can. I'm not real particular with it. I just try to get it as close as I can get it. Once it's all filled in, if it's a little off, you won't really be able to tell. But you can see this will take a few sheets to fill in. Now this cone is a little bit smaller than the poster board that we used, so you won't need a whole lot, but I did use, I think it was 4 or 5 packs of the gemstone stickers. So I fill the whole thing in, and here's what it looks like so far. It looks so elegant. I just love the way it looks. And then I made a bow. And we're just going to glue it together by layering the pieces with some hot glue. And then I wanted to dress the bow up just a little bit. For the very center to hide the glue, we're going to take another piece of ribbon and glue it right across the center. And then we'll flip it over and tie that in a knot. just makes the center of the bow look nicer. And once we have it tied, we'll cut off the excess ribbon that's on the back. Try to make sure it's nice and secure before you cut off any excess ribbon. And then we'll decorate the bow. We fix the loops a little bit. And then we'll add some gemstone stickers to the center of our bow. I'm using some hot glue to help secure those gemstones on there because I really want to make sure that they stay. Then I had some snowflake garland. I cut the pieces off and glued that to the ribbon. And then I'll glue the bow to the very top of the tree. And I made 2 bows. I ended up doing a bow on each side so it would be covered at the top from both sides. Then I replace it in the little cup with the LED light turned on with that balloon holder stem. And this is what it looks like in all the different colors. I love this one so much. I think it's so pretty. It looks nice with the lights on. It looks nice at night with the lights, changing color. And then I want to show you guys my strawberry shortcake tree. So I know everyone's asked in the past what my tree looks like. I've talked about it. So the topper is an old night light that I use Christmas lights in. I have some Dollar Tree berries and flowers that I bought over the summer. They had these berries and blueberries. Here's some of the ornaments that we made this year for videos. And we've got our little gingerbread baking pan, the Starbucks coffee. We have the macaroons, and then some of the flower ornaments we made last year, the cookie cutouts that we made last year, and then I made some custom ribbon. So I've got a sublimation printer. I printed out some of the characters with the fruit that goes with it, and I just cut the paper into these strips. And you do need to use sublimation ink or sublimation printer to do this, but I did want to show you guys how I made the ribbon just in case anybody has one of those printers. So I print this out and then I cut it into strips, and I take the paper and flip it upside down and tape it in place with heat tape. And then I put that on my heat press and I press down. And then once it cools, you can see how the color gets darker once you've pressed it. And it sublimates onto the ribbon. Now the ribbon does have to be polyester, which I picked these up at the Dollar Tree. And then again, I'm just going to take those ribbons and I'm going to make these loops, and we'll do 2 for each bow. And then what I do is I fold them in the center and I glue the center together. And I'll do that for both pieces. And then I'll glue these 2 loops together. Just a small dot of hot glue to create this bow. And then we're going to need something to tie it to the tree and then the center for the bow. So we're going to first put the center on just by putting a little bit of glue there. And then take another piece of string and you're going to put it the opposite direction on the back, and then just tie your ribbon on nice and tight. You'll cut those extra loops off, but just leave the other tie that you added to the back, and that's what you'll tie it to the tree with. So we've got cherry cuddler, orange blossom, we have lemon meringue, and then this is lime chiffon. We have huckleberry pie, blueberry muffin, and peach blush, raspberry tart. And of course, cherry cuddler. There's the blueberry muffin. I added some berries to that one. And the last one you'll see will be the strawberry shortcake bows that I added last year. But it's so fun to make this custom ribbon with the coordinating like berries and bows. And I put these little bows all over the tree, which really helped make it a custom tree. And then our living room tree, we do purple, silver, and white to match with the decor that we have in there. And that's all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And here are some other videos from our channel you might also enjoy. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time.